back again for another episode of the Elly Show. Y'all make some noise. Yeah. Yo, today is an awesome episode because we're at episode number 7. So y'all know we still grinding, we still growing. And yes, I got 2 incredible producers, artists. Yo, this is the Leem said something. He said Kings. So this is gonna be the Kings Vibesman episode, okay? Because these are 2 kings.
I like
so
it.
I want to build on just Kings vibes. All right. So on that note, we're gonna congratulate our brother John Robinson. That's who this is right here, of course, y'all. Y'all make some noise because he had an album release.
Yeah.
Me and Luce was at the album release party. It was bananas.
Shit look
Bananas,
crazy online.
fam. Like, yo, how did you pull that off?
You know, I was telling Luz off cam, since being here, I've been back in this area for 2 years now.
Yeah.
You know, it went by quick. And I've been thinking about, you know, how to curate something that's gonna bring out the heads from back 20 years ago, living here 20 years, even like being around these spaces. It's incredible in a full circle movement, but I wanted to bring that feeling back, be intentional about including women, definitely.
Always.
And also just see if I could pull out some new faces too, you know? And I literally, it was a litmus test, you know? I didn't go in like, yo, they all gonna come out, definitely. It was very humbly, just, you know, asking the real heads to come out.
It was a family vibe, fam.
Yeah, man. And it's tribe here, so I wasn't feeling like, oh man, we're gonna land on our face and no one's gonna show up. But, you know, I felt like the love was felt, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. It was in the room, yo. And on my left right here, we got Leem Lizzy in the building, yo.
It's good, it's good.
That whole lo-fi movement, yo. I say it's a movement. I mean, just because of me learning about it, and I see how it's been growing, and I really picked up on it watching your music, yo.
Thank you.
And then, funny thing, I see JR was doing that same thing, and it was like, yo, what the fuck, yo? What is this? You know what I mean? Fam, talk to me about it.
Man,
yo.
well, like we was talking a little bit before, but you know, like I feel like the lo-fi is just like a rebranding. That's something that we've been doing already.
Okay.
You feel me? Like whatever, however we bring it, whether it's jazz, funk, hip hop, for real, it's just really black culture.
Yeah.
And that's what we're bringing forward. So it's like, you know, it's a common thread that runs through all of that, and it's us.
Yeah, no doubt.
You feel me? So sometimes we get rebranding and, you know, vernacular gentrification.
Yeah.
Gentrifying the vernaculars.
Wow.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yep.
Almost like how jungle became drum and bass. Same thing. Same thing.
Right.
Like, so we're talking tomato, but some terms make people a little bit more comfortable.
Okay.
So like, I just really tried to, and I think that's probably why you found it through me.
Right.
I tried to expose the common thread.
Okay.
I tried to make it real obvious that like we ain't really doing nothing new.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's new because we're doing it. We're new.
So then
I'm new.
who coined it that? Who coined it lo-fi?
I don't know who coined it that, honestly.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from. It means low fidelity. So it's like,
fidelity,
it's cats with like, not studio equipment, but bedroom studio equipment. And how they put it together.
Okay.
You know? So it started to revolve around the SP404, the SP303, stuff that Dilla and Madlib were already using before the lo-fi name even entered the picture.
Okay.
And that's kind of how me and John got connected.
Okay.
Off that 404 through Page Infinite.
Wow.
Yeah, in Brooklyn. I was here in Atlanta, but I saw what Paige was doing, and we started hollering. I said, I know John Robinson. That don't sound familiar.
Oh yeah, that was.
But Lil Sai
crazy.
sound familiar.
Lil Sai sound
You feel me? I know Lil Sai. You feel me?
That's a full circle right there because Pushing Buttons Collective, right? Shout out to Pays Infinite, Truth Beats, Pushing Buttons Collective is something that was started with some crew back home in NY, but the name, it's important for me because I was just telling this story yesterday. The name Pushing Buttons comes directly from Dilla.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in power. Long story short, Stacey Epps and I, Soul Uprising. We had an epic release party. Speaking of release parties, this was November 2004, right? We in LA, we booked Doom to headline our release party.
Wow.
It's like Doom's probably, rest in power, this is his maybe second show on that side ever, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, early, like 9:30, 9:40, we didn't even get on yet. I'm at the bar, this young lady's like, yo, we barely got in. It's like 100 people out there that can't get in. They wouldn't even let Dilla in.
Word.
I was like, what you say? She said, yo, Dilla and Frank and Danks outside and they're not letting them in because it's capacity. I
That's
go out,
crazy.
I tell the lady at the door, yo, that's Jay Dilla, Frank, they gotta come in.
Yeah.
As we're walking in, I say to Dilla, yo, you're one of the illest doing this right now, bro. He looked me dead in my face and said, nah, I'm just pushing buttons, dog. And it was such a humble response from a giant.
Yeah.
When we were coming up with the name, I was like, yo, Pushing Buttons Collective.
Yeah. That's dope
You know
as
what
fuck.
I'm
Y'all
saying?
make some noise for that, yo.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy,
But
man.
it's
That's
the waves though.
Yeah.
Dilla moving to LA.
Yeah.
Madlib was already like, he was wilding. He was just throwing out beat CDs with like 50
he
beats
was.
on
Yeah,
it,
he
like
was.
everywhere, you know, just beats everywhere.
I was thankful
But
too, son.
they weren't always his best. His
Yeah.
best were landing
Yeah.
on the albums,
Yeah.
right? By the time Dilla moved to LA, there's Dilla Beats. I remember driving in the car on tour West Coast, Dilla Beats start circulating. It caused a wave. And then the young heads is just like, yo, what it? And I feel like that wave created lo-fi
It did.
too. You know?
It was those, like you said, like those Madlib beat conductor tapes that he was putting out, and all of the Dilla tapes. Cause you know we weren't catching the cassettes, but I was going to Earwax Records and catching
Earwax.
Shout out to
Remember Earwax?
Tyler and all my
Earwax.
people
Yeah.
from
Wow.
Earwax, right? I was going to Earwax Records, and you could catch like Dilla was doing official releases of his beat tapes.
Yeah.
And I was catching all of them. So yeah, I think that the BBE releases, like when Pete Rock did Peastrumentals, that was real influence. That was right around the Welcome to Detroit era, and I think that turned a lot of heads on to like, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Were you like,
Please
seriously,
ask him, son.
because
Yeah.
for you to know this at that time,
Right.
Yeah.
you were a rare
I was
commodity,
advanced.
bro.
I was
Like,
advanced.
yeah, you were
And you from here,
advanced, bro.
fam? You from here?
I'm from here long enough, not to mention nowhere else,
Right.
but I started in Philadelphia.
Okay.
My mom's is from Philadelphia, my father's from down here. So, you know,
Yeah.
my mother, she went to the AUC when it was just one school, when it was just Atlanta University.
Say word. Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow, son,
So
I
that's
didn't know that.
was the connection to Atlanta. So I grew up in Philadelphia for a bit. Then I came back down here and did middle school, high school, and all the rest.
you. Okay.
And I was doing capoeira. I was learning capoeira
Wow.
at the 89.3 WRFG building on Euclid.
Yo, sir, shouts out to Iros and them, B.
And I used to be seeing John in the area.
Word.
And I remember.
Word.
And I remember. So I interned a little bit with one of my homies, Nagasi, up under Rasta Root.
Okay. Rasta Root.
Yeah,
You gotta get Rasta Root on
yeah,
this
and
song.
DJ J Force
And
on the
J Force.
on the Beats and Lyrics show.
Yes, yes.
And that's how I was like I kind of got ingratiated early as a you know as a tadpole, as a minnow
man.
into like the early Atlanta. I'm gonna call it like the new boom bap scene that was going on with Kid Chaos and Supreme.
Talk that
and,
shit, son. Talk that shit, yo.
and Signs to Life and Micronauts and
Micronauts, yo.
all that stuff. That's like
Lions
so that's-
Den.
Yeah. So like that's the
Definitely.
early. So yeah, I
Star,
was
you
just
know?
I was like
Star.
I was 16, 17-year-old. You know what I mean? So like yeah, all that mass influence. Shout out to my man H2O. He was like an early mentor to me. He was working at More Dusty Than Digital, a record store that was like half sneaker store, half record store.
Shout
That's
out
in
to
the little
Jay
5
Sun.
points.
In the little 5 points.
Yeah.
And that's why I bought the Doomsday, MF Doom Doomsday. And I already had heard Doom through Yikes. That was Signed to Life featuring MF Doom. So it all comes full circle. So I was listening to this brother while I was in
Call
high
it the
school.
full circle
and
episode.
now we working on a
We're gonna
project
change
together.
it to the full circle episode, y'all.
Yeah,
This is the
full
full circle episode. Still the
It's-
King's Vibesman.
It's spinning,
Full circle
but it's spinning. It's spinning now.
Yeah, son. I
Yeah,
like
man.
this, yo.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro,
man.
salute to you too, Leem, because
Yeah.
you're more important than you know. Because
Yo, I've been trying to
again,
express that to
we're in
him,
a
son.
time, think about it, we're in a time where we're battling. Some of us take it lightly, we shouldn't. We're battling to keep the legacy going because young culture is turning into forget about what happened back then. What about now? And it's like if that continues and that becomes normalized, these stories won't continue, bro. It ends with a certain generation. So it's like it's important to make that connection. It's not a game. Doubt. We can't be running around just defaming young people. Oh, you stupid to that because we're the generation who was supposed to plant those seeds.
Absolutely.
You know, so
but y'all did. Y'all did.
You know?
Like those records, they last, man.
Yeah, man.
They last, bro.
So I say all that to say, you're doing work for your generation and more.
Trying, bro.
Y'all make some noise for that, man. You're doing work, Leem. You're doing work, fam. We see you, we definitely see you.
Even hearing you build and connect the dots that way, those stories need to be known and told. And you're right, it is black culture.
It's black culture, bro.
It comes from those rhythms originally, but it caused waves and it keeps going and transforming. And that's why we can't be mad at it. It's vast, it's big, it's gonna change forms. You can't put your finger or thumb on it because you could literally talk about just one component of it and have, you know, a magnitude of information just on one component, just the music.
The octopus.
You don't even go to the culture. We talking music.
Just music,
You know
forget whatever else was going on, just music.
JR, what got you started? Like, was you always rapping and making beats, or
you know
back
what?
home, or?
That's a great question. So yes, I started writing, not rapping though, writing stories when I was about 10.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
In 5th grade, it was wild, right?
Yeah.
My grandfather used to like sneak us and let us watch Miami Vice. I'm like 10 watching Miami Vice, just kind of piecing these things together. So I remember writing a story like 5th grade called Miami, It's the Greatest. Never been to Miami. I'm talking about pink flamingos on the waves of the, you know, just like imagining. And peace to Jamal Thomas, right? His parents had a singing group called Thomas and Taylor. And they came to our 5th grade class, pulled out the VCR, put the tape in, and they're playing us, his parents, rocking in London, rocking in Paris, rocking in Tokyo. I'm like, yo, y'all just cooked pancakes last week when we was playing video games. Y'all do this? So explosions are going off, and it's just like, yo, I don't know how, but I want to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, yo, they were just a cool black couple who came in, they showing us magazines, albums. I'm just like, whoa. Wow. So that, I say all that to say Jamal convinced me to write a rap. We wrote our first rap and performed it in front of the school.
Wow.
And that feeling, I got addicted to that feeling. Because I was the shy kid, and for that moment, it was like, oh shit, you really the guy. You could talk to girls, you could do, you know, as I got older, it became a superpower, bro. That's what kept it going, just that feeling of like reverence and vibes from my peers. You know, like, damn, I like what that feels like. So,
what about you, Leem? Was you always producing and had an ear for music like this?
I think I always had an ear for music, but my parents gave me that, you know.
Really?
My mom being into all like the sound of Philadelphia, all the Philadelphia soul,
I love that shit,
all the Me and Mrs. Jones and all that type of stuff,
you grew up on that.
The Curtis Mayfield, and then you know, I call my father, I mess with him, I say he a Pastafarian because he's not Jamaican, but he Rastafarian. So it's like that gave me like, you know, my pop was playing Dennis Brown and Gregory Isaacs and all that type of stuff. So like roots reggae and like classic Philly soul is kind of like what was the house, was like the music we listened to in the house. But I got an interest in guitar, and it's like I said, 4 strings is probably easier than 6 strings, so I'm with a bass. You know, and I was playing? Yeah, so I played bass all throughout grade school, and I went to Georgia State for jazz studies. So that's like kind of, I guess my pop sensibility, like what I like from pop music, probably comes from that Philadelphia soul top 40 stuff. And now, you know, when I got older, I realized that a lot of that the roots reggae I was listening to and all that rock steady was more top 40 soul and doo-wop stuff. Like these are like, oh wow, these are all remixes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versions, you know what I'm saying? But then like I get sort of the I guess the more complex avant-garde stuff from what I learned in school from the jazz artists that we studied.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was in high school, I got a set of turntables.
You did?
Yeah, I got a set of turntables.
Yeah.
It's like there was some bullshit.
How did you get them? You got them as a gift?
Oh
or?
yeah, my mom, my pop bought them for me.
Okay.
They wasn't the best turntable. They was some bullshit Newmarks, but they were my turntables.
No doubt.
And it came like, this to tell you how cheap the turntables were. They came 2 turntables and a mixer and 2 speakers in a box.
I remember.
Son, I got those. I got a pair of Geminis like that.
Yeah, in the box.
Yeah,
It was a
I
kid.
remember those.
I think it was Jackson Music. Something
Yeah, like the
that.
kid.
Everything together.
Yeah,
Everything together.
Yeah,
The kid.
son.
Were those the purple joints?
Yeah.
Or nah?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Oh,
The
I
purple
remember
joint.
those.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, it
Y'all
was
make
the
some
purple-
noise for the purple joints, G. You can't ignore them shit.
We needed that, you know,
Yeah,
to
we
keep it
did.
a buck. Science of Life,
Word.
we weren't DJs, but we needed something to sample from.
Word.
Something to
Sample the
sample.
records. So it was
Yeah.
like, yo, the whole kit.
Yeah,
Boom.
wow.
That was the first joint.
So the purple joints kind of exposed to me like what sampling was
Yes.
in hip hop.
Yes.
So I would go to Earwax and mess with Talib and all the crew down there, and I would buy like hip hop singles.
Yeah.
But I also would like dig through their dollar bin, and the dollar bin was all like soul and stuff like that. So yeah, out of that dollar
Fat
bin.
Beats? What about Fat Beats? Was
Yeah,
Fat Beats
the
around at
fat
time,
beats
too?
that was down here. Yeah, it was around. I wasn't really going in there because Earwax was so close to where I lived.
Okay.
I lived right in Midtown by Georgia Tech, in the Home Park area. That's where I grew up.
Right.
So I could walk down the street to Piedmont Park.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Boom, and it's like Earwax is right there.
Yeah.
So
That's dope.
yeah, that kind of got me involved. I got a little drum machine. You couldn't even sample on it, and on that I was making all sorts of like 3-6 Mafia sounding type stuff. On AGG, I was making bling bling sounding type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just taught me the nuts and bolts of how to put a beat together. Between the records and the little drum machine, it kind of like got me in tune.
You ever incorporate any of your live?
I do. I
Okay.
do. I play bass on a lot of tracks, and it's like, it's all crossover knowledge. That taught me stuff about the keys. Just like photography will teach you stuff about videography.
doubt.
It's like, so the bass taught me stuff about the keys, and I play keyboards on like almost all my tracks now. A lot of the more electronic and house stuff that I do now, I don't sample at all.
Okay.
So it's just like me trying to figure some stuff out. You know, noodling around, but if you have an ear for this stuff, if you listen long enough, you start to get a knack for what sounds good, and if you can just capture those moments, you can make something.
Yeah, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And even better, you know what sounds bad. And you're like, nah,
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah,
ain't
that-
it. This
that's-
ain't
that's
it,
even
you know?
better. Yeah,
And I'm
that's
about to
right.
ask you, like, what got you into producing like you doing now?
Yo,
Like, you
coming
crazy.
down here 20 years ago is when I was dabbling because we bought equipment to do the first album. We bought equipment. It was amazing to just be able to. We window shop with Big Just probably for like a year, bro.
Yeah.
And we got pissed at him, real talk. It was like, bro, you keep taking us Sam Ash guitars. We not buying nothing. They treat us crazy in there because we've been there 1,000 times and we ain't buy one thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, G, but we gonna come in here and y'all gonna get what you need and know what you, and we like, that day came where we were able to we want those. Oh, we got this 5-inch. No, we want the big events, bro.
Yeah.
We want that. And we knew everything, right? So that was a time where, rest in peace, Don Q. Don Q at the time, our main producer, decided, I'm chilling on music right now. And we like, bro, like we got the deal, So it made us literally say, yo, we gotta spend our time and learn this equipment and learn how to use it.
Right.
So we were in Jersey at the time, and then we came down here
So that's
in
what I want to
2000.
get into before you go too far.
Yeah.
Son, so let me share this moment with you. Because I remember when we met up top, right in front of when we was going to the same bookstore, we was
Word is
going to be in a
mine.
tag,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's when we Deep Space Nine, y'all Science of Life already. Was y'all Science of Life already at that time, or
Yes.
was y'all another name?
Definitely,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, so that's L.
Because that's like 95, 96.
Yeah, and what I'm gonna say is, son, when I came, I already knew Dio knew in them already. Well, it was like an African street festival.
No doubt.
I met Just first, and then the whole family. I'm going to Long
crazy.
Island and shit,
That's
going to
crazy.
see them and
Yeah,
shit.
man.
So what's more crazy is when I came down here and I saw y'all already knew them.
Oh yeah.
It was crazy for me because I'm like, yo, when I came down here, we was working on the roofs. Me and the crew was working on the roofs, and I saw Just, and I'm like, nobody walk like that, dude.
No doubt, yeah.
Yo, Just, and he looked up, his dreads shake like, yo. So I'm at work. I jump off. I don't jump off the roof, but you know what I mean? I go down and I go holla at son. I'm like, yo, what up?
And then that reconnected.
Yes, the reconnection happened right there.
Wow.
So with y'all, when I saw y'all already over there, y'all was in a van or some shit at the time, right?
We had the van.
Son, that shit was bananas to see.
We took
y'all,
that van all through the Southeast, bro. Seriously, we ran that van down.
That was the van.
But I gotta say, shout out to Frank 151 because they did the show that we really met the crew. We met Lions Den at that show.
Really?
We met Binkus at that show. We met Star at that show. We met the Hemisphere at that. Yo, this was one show, our first show. And to top it off, when we got to sound check, guess who was standing outside at sound check?
Who?
Doom.
Wow.
Word up. Doom. Like, we looking like, and then we realized, oh shit, just called Doom and let him know we was gonna be here.
That's crazy.
So he was like,
son.
yeah, someone's gonna come through. I ain't gonna say who, cause he don't be coming through all the time. So just ain't tell us, like, but Doom was standing out for sound check, and that's how we reconnected. This is a year before we moved back, or moved down, you know. But
that's awesome.
That show was the show that just plugged us into the tribe here, and made us drive back and understand. Oh, it's going down.
So y'all wasn't living here at the time?
No, we weren't living, but we knew the tribe that was here. So when we thought about relocating, that helped. Oh yeah, that helped. We knew there was fertile ground bubbling. Cats were already moving.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, man.
And when you say Just, you mean Company Flow Just?
Big Just.
So look, that's crazy that like, you know, like you said, the crew that moved down here, it shaped my musical influence. Those are the groups that I piggyback my sound off of. So it's like that move
that's what's up.
was a movement.
That's what's up. Bro.
You know what I'm saying? That move, you know?
Yeah, man.
Because those are the artists. Right there. That definitive jugs that MF doing. There you go.
Just pioneered it. Check this out.
Really?
We're sitting in Just's apartment. He's like, yo, what y'all think about like relocating and creating a satellite office for Subverse in the Southeast? And we're like, I don't know, we up here, we chilling, we right by the city, we kind of in the cut, we good. And he's like, but think about it. He said, you think in the South they know about, like you think there's pockets all throughout the South that know about the Lyricist Lounge, Stretch and Bob, and just that underground vibe, all these artists that been doing this shit all up and down the East Coast. We're like, of course. So he just literally drew out this plan, like, yo, go to the Atlanta area, but don't just stay there, explore. Go to North Carolina, hit up Asheville, hit up Charlotte, you know, hit up Raleigh, Durham, you know, just hit up spots. Go to South Carolina, go to Tennessee, go down to New Orleans, go to Florida. And we did all of that while we were here. And his whole thought was, expand to new territory. You just open yourself up more. They know us at home already.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And it put us on to just a whole nother level. And to get to the beat thing, we were out in Noonan when we first got here. In Noonan Lofts. No bullshit. If you type in Google Noonan Lofts, it'll finish the sentence and say haunted. Yo, we had to get the fuck up out of there, bro. We had to get up out of there, bro.
Shit was creepy.
Bro, like,
yo, we need a button
we didn't experience
music.
anything ourselves outside of, you know, little stuff. But I before I get into that, I want to say every day we treated this like a 9 to 5.
No doubt.
So every morning we wake up, go play basketball, do some sort of workout activity, right? Come home, freshen up, break bread together. Then we go into our departments. ID got so nice at the beats because his department was production. Yo, go over to ASR, MP 2000. Rock with that. Learn how to use it. Get nice with it. Boom, that's you. Willoughby, rest in peace, was on the Photoshop. He was on the graphics. You know what I'm saying? That was his, yo, learn Adobe Photoshop. Learn everything about this, bro. Get it going. Me, mainly was learning website stuff. That's when Dreamweaver 3 came out and Microsoft Front Page. And, you know, we just every day was on that. We broke away, we rehearsed, got ready for the shows, etc. And it just started to allow us to see what that 10,000 hour journey felt like, because it was a daily operation. And it was, the beautiful part was that it was baked into our deal with Subverse. So we were working.
Well, Subverse, was that a
It was a label.
Okay.
Indie label that Big Just, Peter Lupoff, and Fiona started.
Okay. Shouts out to them.
But that was a deal that basically our living expenses was baked into this deal in exchange for us working the satellite office experience. It taught us. It taught us how to do things. It taught us about retail calls and DJ calls and marketing on the road and in-store setups, just everything that related to moving how it was back then. And I would say the only thing that I would have poured more into back then, if I could rewind back, is really developing the show on the road and investing in that more than a lot of other things. You know, if you're an artist right now, I feel like, yo, pour into your show and how it moves, because if that machine is moving, everything else runs. The merch is selling.
Take notes.
You know, there's money coming in. You can pay for all the other, you know, development you need to build it out. But that show and just those tickets and that's popping, that's the ecosystem you want.
That's priceless right there, yo. Yeah, that's real. Whoa. Whoa, son. Okay. Yeah. Yo, so
Jules.
let me ask you this, fam. Just stick with you for a minute. The whole crew, Science of Life.
Yes.
How did y'all come about?
Yo, well, Four Winds, Invisible Hands, that's my brother. So we've been about. You know, shoot, he's actually my
was y'all
older
another
brother.
name then before? Was because y'all was already rapping together?
You know what? Yeah, we were rapping together early. I feel like our early names, God Body Science, God Body Soldiers, right?
Right.
Science of Life came from ID's first group with brother Sirek 7 and Razik. They had a group called KBM Soul. Knowledge being manifested through the sciences of life. You know what I'm saying? And this was really my first time. I'm the younger guy, right? So they would sneak me in. Yeah, I'm 2 years younger. So they would sneak me in shows, and I was always the highlight because motherfuckers, I had the baby face. They knew I wasn't supposed to be in there, but yo, I'd jump in, get on the mic, and then kill it and run backstage and disappear before someone could actually kick me out. But yeah, I'd learned from that. You know what I'm saying? And that was really how we started, and then we moved to Jersey. We did a Flojo, Bronx to Piscataway. Yeah, when Fat Joe said that, that was the year we moved to Piscataway, New Jersey, bro.
Wow.
From the BX.
What's it like in Piscataway?
Yo, it was, real talk, it's very similar to pockets I see out here, like a Douglasville or a, you know, Lithonia. It's, you know, one of them type suburb vibes. You know, but it was probably very mixed, a lot of different diverse cultures, but more than that, it was a dope education system. And you know, we got to land there senior year. Willoughby's chilling in the lunchroom by himself, headphones on with a book in his hand. My homegirl was like, don't go talk to him, he's weird. He's always rapping to himself and reading books. I'm like, yo, that sounds like what we do. I feel like this, bro. When I went over and talked to that brother, it felt like a decade passed that maybe a handful of days we didn't connect.
Wow.
That's how tight, bro, like every day.
Instant connect.
Boom, instant connect. And he brought so much to the cipher. It was like, yo, this dude's an alien, bro. He just, he knew too much. And you know, that he's early Ansar tag, you know, so,
that's how I know, son, because I took my shahada in 91.
So you know, exactly. And that's the time when you were from that school, you learned so much dynamic information. Shoot, you could talk a preacher out of shoes and be like, I quit, you know, for real, bro.
That's a fact, yo.
That's a fact, bro.
That's a fact, fam. That's like back in the day, because when we was coming in, before I even got my shahada, that's around like Doom, Cam D, and all of them, they was like young disciples at the time, son.
Imagine this, right? Doom talking to us, and he's talking to Willoughby, and he's like, yo, you look mad familiar. And then Willoughby's like, yeah, I think I met you in Springfield tab. He's like, Springfield? how old are you? He was like, yeah. He was like, yo, you're the dude who ran away from home, bro? And the cops came. He was like, yeah, that was me.
Oh, shit.
Willoughby dipped from home and his parents was looking for him, bro. He was in Spring. He was from Jersey to Springfield, Long Island, in the tab hiding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, son.
And Doom was in that tab. Yes.
That's an ill story, D.
He was the elusive, but they remembered, so that was a glue to the connection. And one day Doom told me and ID, he said, yo, I like being around y'all because y'all remind me of me and Sub. You know what I'm saying? Like just that brother connection and how close y'all are in the music and creating, and you know, it kept us so close to this day. There's people who think we just homeboys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Real talk.
Man, that's real, yo. Y'all make some noise for that, man. That's incredible, dude. Yes. Come over to Leem, man. How you doing, Leem?
What's
this
up,
is a
man?
dope vibe, fam.
Yeah, man, the whole thing been nice, man. I've been chilling.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, tell me this, Leem. Butter. Where does that come from, yo? Is that your alias?
It started, man. It started. I made it my alias. It was a brand name sticker that was on my desk, and I didn't know what to call it, and I just called it Extra Butter.
Because I used to see Butter before Leem. I used to see that a lot.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, the sample I use is, I'm gonna give it away. I don't care. It's from Dwick when he's like, I say butter, you say parquet.
Oh, butter. That's a classic giveaway.
Yeah, Greg.
If you know, you know.
Greg Nice.
Right.
You feel what I'm talking about? So I just started running with it, and I wanted to add some sort of continuity to like a motif, you know, to a theme, to what I had going on, like all my favorite hip hop groups always did.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, this will be a common thread for people to hang on to.
Right.
That's dope.
That was basically it.
Okay.
That was basically it. I didn't put too much thought into it, but like after it got rolling, I kind of had to. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, just as of late, I've been breaking the chains of that and doing other things.
Right.
You know, but people still know me by it. I'm not mad at it.
Right.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Yo, and your music, right? The way your wave is, it's like, cause listening to some of your older stuff to now, it's like you did this. You got like a, I don't know if it's a change. Is it a personal change in you coming out of your music, or is it just something you wanted to switch up with?
No, it's definitely a personal change. Like I think anything I do, anything I do is a reflection of me, man. If I walk to the store, it's because I wanted to, right? Yeah. So it's like you know, it's communicating something that about me. Yeah. So if that changes, then you know, apparently I changed. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like the structure of my life has been changing lately, and that's cool. It's been changing for the good. And it's like, yeah, man. And I don't have to put as much pressure on the music, so I get the time to step back and think about what I want to do differently.
Right.
See, when in earlier years, I was just like bang, 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 turning myself into a workhorse, which was cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I didn't really I gave myself a breather to step back and audit like what I was doing. Okay. So when just recently, I made a list of like the things that I don't do that I want to give a try.
Okay.
Like artistically.
Dope.
Like I think it's kind of you kind of hit on this earlier. It's like sometimes you gotta focus, like, you know, we focus on one thing, but sometimes we can focus on the negative space and gain something from there too. So it's like I'm trying to gain, not think about like what I necessarily do and want to get better at, but just things that aren't there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And try to incorporate them. And I'll get the chance to see if they're really not there for a reason, or they're not there just because I'm not doing it.
So is it like the same way you incorporate it, like you have classes?
Yeah.
Is that?
Well, the class came.
What made you want to do that?
Because people kept on asking, and it wasn't cost effective to keep on answering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So I was like, bang! If you really want to know, if you really want to party with me,
right.
Put your hands where eyes can see. You know what I'm talking about? So I just, you know, I said, okay, well, bang, I'll make a video about it, but I don't have to sell this video just to the person that asked. I can sell it to everybody else and let them know that this is a question, and I answered the question, and it's here. I've recently just kind of moved over to the Patreon side of things, and just working with a more closed community of people that, like, you know, is when you have, with Patreon, it's like subscription based. So you gotta subscribe.
So people are dedicated.
Yeah. So I could build like out my own classroom.
I see.
With like, you know, students get to know those people, and it's like, you know, if you're dedicated, like I'm saying, you'll jump in.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit easier for me to manage, and it's more so my speed. I like it a little bit more intimate.
Right.
Than just like selling one-offs to people, because then you end up in the same spot where it's like, people you don't know asking you more questions.
But constantly trying to build it.
Yeah,
Instead of having this core,
the
that
core
can help you build.
That can help me build. Yeah, their questions. Like I ask them, what do you guys want to see? And it's like, it's not like exposing the inner workings of my business, because I'm only messing with 15 people or 25 people or 30 people.
Yeah.
So I could use them as beta testers and, like you said, like a litmus test for what could happen.
Exactly.
Yo, that's ill. That's really ill.
So yeah, I've been enjoying scaling back.
Right.
And what, interesting enough, like what I've scaled back from, like as far as like the content creation, I've only gained in the music creation.
Okay.
It's opened up a lot of space for me to think, and it's like I don't have to be married to one style because I'm putting all this pressure on myself to produce.
So let me ask you this. So is it any pressure with, because I know you got sound kits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You be displaying for people to, if they want to get this,
Word.
or want to get these sounds, because I got one of those sound
Dope.
kits too.
Dope.
And it's dope. But I want to know what possessed you, or what influenced you to, hey, let me give these to people too. Are people asking for that as well?
Yeah, people were asking for it, and it's like, I know it's something that I enjoy, and it's like, when I was coming up, it was like, especially when I was younger, you know, it was like a lot of like, people was treating stuff like trade secrets. And I didn't want it to be that.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be laid out for people. It's like, I didn't want people to run into brick walls, like, where'd you get this from, blah, blah, blah. Like, here, since we got the internet and you can actually reach people who you might not have reached before, might as well like utilize the stream of the flow of communication.
Yeah.
So I started, putting them out, and it's kind of put pressure on me. I like the fact that once I put it out and other people have it, now I feel like I need a new sound now.
Okay.
Because I just gave them I just gave them the fall collection. So now it's time to start working on
I see what you're doing.
the winter, the summer, spring
So
collection.
you kind of forcing yourself to even to grow even more.
To grow out of it. Like, okay, you know. And like with them drum kits, interesting enough, I really don't use that many sounds.
Okay, really?
I process probably about 20 sounds.
Yeah.
4 different ways will give you 80 different sounds. If I
Okay.
process 20 sounds 4 different ways to give you 80 different sounds. Because I think about it like this: Earth, Wind and Fire, Sly and the Family Stone. When their drummers go on the road, how many drum sets do you really think they bring with them?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I ain't think
One,
about that.
and a replacement maybe.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's like they've developed a sound with these drums.
Exactly.
So that's why I look at it kind of like a fall collection or a summer collection, because it's like, it's an aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's an aesthetic.
Boom, for this.
And it's for that music.
And it's for that time.
Yeah.
And that, so it's like stamping it like that, not like I'm hitting you with the same ish over and over again. As I grow, I shed a layer and I sell the layer.
It's gems right here, bro.
Yeah,
like
it's
this
gems,
is
yo.
gems.
It's like that for you, fam?
Yeah, I was just having this conversation with ID, and I was telling them like, I forgot who was saying, I know Black Thought was one of them, but there was a conversation years back about how many rhymes could the best of MCs keep on their dome and just kind of have, and it's seasonal in a sense. If you're a performer, 9 times out of 10, you're not doing 30 records a night. You know what I'm saying? So maybe 20, a little over that is what you have on cap.
Right.
Full songs, the rhymes, right? So I looked at it as that, like it's a seasonal shift, but we agreed like the classics are just on cap all the time. Like Yikes, I could spit anytime. 9th, I could spit anytime.
Right.
Next Levels, anytime,
Absolutely.
But then it's seasonal. It's like, what is the record of the time that I'm rocking with? That's what I'm probably most seasoned in terms of performing and just having ready. But I also think it's, like what Leem was just saying, like learning from the blueprints are there. I just heard George Clinton recently in an interview say, yo, I don't know the set list till I'm there. And I look out and say, oh, that's who showed up? Okay, this is the set list right now.
Right.
That's how rehearsed we are with these records.
Yeah,
like I can just do it.
right.
Because he's like, why am I make up the set list and I ain't see who came to the show yet?
Word.
So I get to peek out and say, oh, that's who showed up?
Yeah.
Boom. So I'm like, damn, that's, I learned
makes
from
sense.
going back. The blueprints are there. Learn from the masters who painted this, and not to say don't make mistakes, because you have to. That's
learn.
a big part of it, right? But when you look at the blueprints that already happened, it allows you to navigate in a whole different way.
Yeah.
You're not in a rush.
Yeah.
You respect the process. You
Right.
understand that, no, G, the reason they do it so easy because they've been doing it for 30 years or some shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah, it gets easier with time. And wisdom only comes with time.
Right.
You can't buy wisdom, bro.
No, you can't.
Yeah,
No, you
it comes
can't.
with time.
Yo, that album, because your album, Live Life and Tell Stories.
Yeah, man.
Yo, it's kind of like what you saying right now is your album is saying that, yo.
Yeah, man. This is the first time I said this. I'm gonna say this. The producer of the record don't even know this.
What's that?
Live Life and Tell Stories are rhymes that were probably written 15 years ago, bro. Every one of them, maybe outside of that 10 years ago. And it was a collection of me during quarantine time.
Yeah.
It was a time of me just like listening to jams that didn't come out, like 30 jams. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. These rhymes are not in the world. Yo, they're not coming out in this form. I'm taking my verses back and recreating and putting something, because these had to get out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hip Hop Motivation, right? That's my peeps Kenyatta out in LA. We started to craft something. It didn't really see the light of day and make it. So it was like, yo, I talked to him like, yo, these records, these rhymes, they got to see the light. It's just, I'm stuck in, sometimes I get stuck in a place and it's like the universe saying, nah, G, we gave you this, we let this channel through you, you can't move until this moves.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel as an artist sometimes, where it's like, I can't move and me and Leem got a record.
Yeah.
To make sure that record gets the right light, Live Life and Tell Stories was the portal for that. And, I won't get into the whole story, but it's like really reconnecting with the other side of the world I've been connected to that I know appreciates that sound easily.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Where they're like, yo, this is crazy. And hearing Leem, hearing the beats, I got familiar with those textures and vibes and styles just being a fan of the beat scene as it was coming up, dating back to like Beat Society and cats like that, just realizing, yo, I remember ID visiting me in LA and he was like, yo, we just went to a show, no one rapped. We were there for 4 hours and everyone just played beats and we were vibing. This is like 04, 05 and yo, we just in there, It was a Beat Society joint in LA. DJ Khalil, it was just monsters on stage playing beats. Yeah. But that became more of a study time for me. Like I'm just sitting back, just listening to different beats and vibes and textures.
Right.
And LA taught me to expand it a bit.
Yeah.
Yo, call in the trumpet player and add some live, call in the exotic percussion sound guy and have him add in all type of dope shit. And just call in people and add to the music.
Right.
You don't gotta just rap on boom bap sample beats with the soul sample and the gospel. You don't gotta just do that. You could add texture to it. You could take the sample out and just bring your own vibe and ideas. Yeah. And that LA taught me to think that way and produce that way because I was around it. I was around a bunch of music lovers, peeps who just had records around everywhere and just always listening to some exotic vibes. Yeah, salute to
dope.
Ross G.
Wow.
Word up. Rest in power, Ross G.
Rest in peace.
That was Soul Uprising's DJ out there.
Word?
So yeah, when me and Stacy was rocking Soul Uprising in LA, Ross G was the DJ.
Wow.
Word up.
Fire.
Yeah,
Ross
man.
G is dope,
Rest in
yo.
power.
Yeah,
Ross
I got a chance to perform with him out here, Aisle 5 for
Dope.
808 Fest.
Wow.
Ross G, yeah,
man.
He was headlining, and me and the rest of the Controllerize were performing there too. So
That's dope.
R.I.P. to Ross G was definitely
Ross G,
monumental with the beats.
Monumental.
Yo, I listened to Ross G and I just stumbled across it listening to a few samples. Sometimes when I'm riding to work, I want to hear just some music. I don't want to hear rap.
Yeah.
And he came up in a playlist. And yo, his beats is crazy, fam.
Crazy.
And I felt like I should have been heard this shit.
Ross G, literally, when I met Ross, he was just really starting his beat journey, right? But as Ross grew, Ross is just a very like observant, like, you know, just he's older than his years type of guy since I met him, because he's younger than I am. But as Ross grew in the music, he just always had this vision. He just knew, like, yo, this is what I'm gonna be doing, and you should be doing it. Like, what do you mean I should be? And I'm like, damn, he was right. Every time he said something like that, he was right. But so imagine I moved back to the East Coast. Ross is starting to really explode with the African space program. So one day I called Ross jokingly, like, yo, G, how do I get down with the African space program? Da-da. He's like, bro, Science of Life invented it.
Wow.
I was like, what? And he brought me back. He said, think about how we met, G. This is how we met. I'm visiting LA, first time. This is like 03, April 03. It's my born day time. I'm out there. I get to Enterprise Rental. They're like, yo, Mr. Robinson, we don't have any more cars. Wait, sorry, it's not your car, but we have a drop top Mustang. Bro, I get out there, I'm just, LA, like, whoa.
In the Mustang drop top.
In the Mustang, like, whoa, this is totally, I get to Pasadena where my fam is on some tourist vibes. I said, you know what? I'm going to drive down Crenshaw and see where Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood was shot, just on some tourist vibes. I'm driving down Crenshaw randomly. See a bunch of people outside. It felt like culture. It felt like hip hop. I pull up, like, yo, what's going on? Yo, they about to do Project Blow in like 20 minutes. I'm like, Project Blow, I kind of heard of that. So I go to the door, like, yo, you know, I'm visiting group Science of Life. Dude at the door is like, Science of Life? Hold on 1 second, bro. And come back, and then Ross G comes to the door. I never met Ross. But seeing him, he resembles Willoughby.
Really?
Yes, like he definitely did then. So I'm like, yo, what up? So he brings me in, yo, I know about the records, this, that. Long story short, we didn't connect. After that, we rocked with him and everything. I never took his number. So I moved down later that year to LA from here. And Flowetry video is on. I'm at the crib, Flowetry video, Say Yes. Oh, that's the Dread in the video. Yo, I gotta connect this, that. So I asked one of my people, yo, who is that? He's like, oh, that's Ross G. He playing Lamert Park. You know, it all started coming back together. So I didn't, before I even got to go to the next event in Lamert Park, there was like, speaking of African Street Festival, there was like that type of vibes where the Clippers used to play. I forgot the name of the arena, but it's like up the street from Staples Center or the new joint. But we get there, African marketplace vibes, we walk in, Ross G standing right there. We like, yo, and just stayed connected. He was our DJ, G. We rocked a lot of legendary stages together, bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So salute to Ross, man.
Yes, yo.
Yo, Ross.
Wow.
Oh, Ross, exactly.
This is dope, son. This is
man.
dope, yo.
Yeah, man.
Woo. Yo. Man. This is incredible, B.
John got the stories, man.
I mean, you know what? I'll say this. ATL and LA Times, it changed my life. Like, for real. It taught me that, bro, don't think that it's not happening everywhere in some capacity and you can learn from it all.
Absolutely.
Like, real talk. Be open. Be humble. You know, but grow from it, learn from it, leave something. You know what I'm saying? Because if you leave something, even if it's a vibe or energy, you can always come back and get love. You know what I'm saying? Just, leave something. Don't take.
So let me ask y'all, are y'all both independent?
I'm independent as hell.
Y'all never thought about wanting to go mainstream?
AF. You know what? That is a dope question, but I would say for me,
because
the mainstream thing, I learned too much to. Yeah, I'm tearing up.
It's all good. It's love.
But in the mainstream tip, I feel like early, I'd shout out to Big Just. I thank him for this because he taught us a lot early that kind of deterred us from wanting to go that route, mainly because we wanted to own the music in the end. We wanted to control the music. And not to say no one gets to do that, but we know most people don't.
Right.
You know, you go through these channels, you have these songs that everyone knows you for, but if you didn't literally learn how to move and navigate, you're stuck there. And you can't really monetize or do anything.
Right.
And I think that's really the true jewel for us. We were able to, we called it under the study, where we wanted to learn the components. What does it take to do this? What does it take to keep it going? And that's the same information and intel we use to still walk with, you know?
Under the study.
Yeah, man.
That's heavy, B.
Yeah.
Wow. That's deep, son. That's really deep. You too, Leem? You fine independent, right?
I'm perfectly fine independent, even more so than independent. My music has got even more renegade. As of late, I've been getting really into house music, like heavy, and it's
I
like
love house music,
I listen to in the drum and bass and jungle cats. It's like I listen to cats like Larry Heard and newer cats, and I love how they can do whole edits.
Yeah.
Right. So when you take an existing song and you do a whole electronic edit around the existing song, right? Now that's like nothing that can really exist in the copyright space.
Okay.
But where it does exist is in the live performance space. So it's like I'm really enjoying this performance art space.
Yeah.
Where it's like stuff that can't even exist in the copyright published arena.
Right.
It's that rogue, it's that renegade. For me, it makes it dangerous, and it's like I do enjoy the fleeting nature of it, that if you ain't catch it, you ain't catch it.
Right.
You know?
But in the moment, it kind of omits you from the copyright flaws, you know? Where it's like, yo, I could play this, I could flex with it publicly, but I just ain't put it out.
I didn't put it out.
But y'all know who did it.
But you know who did it, so it adds to the legend.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
It does.
But so yeah, like I said before earlier, I'm enjoying approaching this from like a different way, like not trying to break out of Alcatraz with it or anything like that, or like trying to. I don't really have any goals associated with it.
Okay.
Other than creating good music and challenging myself more and more and more.
No doubt.
Right.
To see like I tell my friends all the time, like, you know, like my Bandcamp, my SoundCloud, even the streaming services. It's just like an audio diary for me.
Yeah.
I could go back, I look at the date and say, oh, this is where I was at musically at this point in time.
No doubt.
So it's just like I'm just journaling as I move through it. And like actually the goal is, this is the goal. I'm trying to figure out as much as I can, and I am through this journey and journaling and you know and taking these recordings, you know, records of my progress. I just want to be one of the talking heads on this subject right here.
Okay.
Right.
So when you come back around to it in 20 years, I'm still on it.
Yeah.
I was on it. Yeah. It's documented I was on it. I'm still on it now.
Your name is stamped.
And my name is stamped. So like we were talking earlier, like I'm trying to put together a book, probably gonna be more so like a collection of essays, just because I don't have an attention span to write chapters.
Right.
Just gonna start with essays and, you know, to stamp myself in just like, you know, being knowledgeable in this field. Because like they were like we was talking about on Instagram, they was asking questions.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
So if I'm a question answerer, with little knowledge I got, I'm gonna proliferate it. I'm gonna get it out there.
As you should.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I feel like
You got
we gotta.
You working on anything like so?
Yeah, I actually co-authored 2 books.
Wow.
The main one is called Youth Culture Power.
Okay.
Right. Long story short, I come off a tour in 2012. I'm in New York. Shout out to my peeps Chen Lo. And Chen Lo's been in like the education space, working with young people in dynamic ways, hip hop, youth culture, etc. He says to me like, yo, bro, I'm connected to this program that basically helps young people stuck in New York City, like seniors who can't pass the Regents.
Okay.
They can't get out of high school, they're stuck. They need us to tap into these classrooms, use hip hop, youth culture, and just things that young people connect with to teach them these subjects, to get them past. At first, I thought it was far-fetched. Like, bro, I never taught a class about academics. I ain't, I'm not there. So he's like, yo, just go to the interview, check it out. I get in.
Yeah.
Yo, I did this for about 2 weeks and felt like, yo, I could do this.
Right.
So long story short, I wound up doing that for a span of about 6-7 years.
In the class?
In the class.
Wow.
Summer school, everything. It became a thing. Creating music for it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And long story short, I learned so much about just how to do that.
Yeah.
How to actually activate in real time hip hop culture, youth culture, and teach subjects, right?
Right.
So fast forward, Jay Rawls. We do the record, we become closer, etc.
Yeah.
We're touring on the West Coast. And Jay's like, I'm like, yo, what you writing, bro? He's like, yo, my dissertation. I'm about to get my PhD. I was like, whoa, hold up. I was like, how long?
And working on that?
I was like, how long have I known you? Why didn't I easily know this? So he starts kicking it. Like, yo, you knew. It said I knew you were in education, but I didn't know exactly what you were doing.
Wow.
So he starts sharing all this other dynamic info. I take that back to the lab and things are just moving.
Yeah.
And we decide, yo, we should collaborate and do a book and an album on this subject. So that birthed Youth Culture Power, and it opened a different lane for me that I still walk with.
That's
you know
awesome,
what I'm saying?
fam. Wow.
Word up.
I never thought that.
Yeah,
B.
man.
Man, that's amazing, B. Oh, let me see this right. I got a question for you.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, please go.
I just want to say this, since we were talking about beats and everybody up here is involved in music.
Yes.
Jay Rawls.
Yeah.
Is
You got a project with him?
No, I just want to say he's a monster.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, man.
He's had beats that stuck with me like my whole adulthood.
Yeah.
It's a joint that came out on a mixtape, and because I got a feeling, I know who your viewers are going to kind of be. They're going to remember this. It was called Underground Airplay. It was put out by Echo. Echo Unlimited, Underground Airplay.
Wow.
And the MC on the joint, I got a good memory. His name was BJ Digby. The name of the beat is called Family Stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
That joint is like it's certain beats and certain rhythms that like have kind of imprinted themselves on me.
Yeah.
And those are like the checkpoints.
Yeah.
If I can make one of them, I'm doing all right.
That's
And
dope.
I gotta blow Leem up because for him to know that, he's a different guy.
He's a different dude.
Because I can easily say you had to be in high school.
I was in high school, yeah.
You was?
Easily,
Yeah. But this is all the stuff was hitting me, bro.
Everyone in high school at the time didn't care about underground airplay like that.
Hey, listen, man. If it's unique, I tried to be.
No doubt.
The path less taken,
that was
man.
an era, bro.
The path less taken, bro.
Yo,
That
so
was dope.
let me ask y'all this then. How do y'all feel, both of y'all own personal opinion on using AI as tools in your music?
Go ahead, John. I'm gonna let you.
Wow. In your music.
Or whatever.
You know what? I'll
structure
say
at
this.
whatever
I'll say
capacity.
this because I'm very much about our people, carbon beings, melanated people, not standing on the sidelines of technology and just passively using it like it just does this surface level thing, and really learn about it, embrace it, engage with it. Overstand it, to be able to leverage it, because the rest of the world will right in our faces, and we'll be standing on the sideline like the .com era, like I ain't messing with that, and it's like no, overstand it, get to know about it, and the reality is, I think of AI as, from what I've learned right now, it's about prompt engineering, right? Prompt engineering is the new developer talk. It's the new coder, right?
So
what you put in is what you get out. So if you really understand how to speak to AI as an assistant, you're the God son in this thing. And it's like Dr. York versus the computer. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Right? So it's like you're son in this. You're taking it back to, ancient math. The ones and the zeros and how it comes from really us, right? But you're understanding, if I speak to it a certain way, I'm gonna get these outputs to be able to leverage. So I see it nothing less than hiring an outsourced team, but it's the digital version, the super scientific version. But then also with everything that has pros, there's gonna be a lot of cons.
Yeah, 'cause
there's
I'm about
always
to-
gonna be a
yeah,
dark space.
I'm about to say one
know?
of the dark spaces I see. I think me personally, I want to ask you, Leem, before I even really, but I wanted to say this though is like that one of the dark spaces I see is how do you monetize if you use any assistance on the AI? Because
it's your idea. You're
Right.
prompting it, so it's
still
coming
your
from
prompt,
you.
yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But to
Because
answer
I
your
was-
question about music, I'll be honest and say I got enough ideas with that
Yeah.
where I don't necessarily see myself running into using it for
I
music
got you,
creations,
yeah.
but things like outlining my ideas and things, that's already in motion. I got plenty of assistance on that tip,
Right.
you know, because there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of legwork to get it to this space where you could see it on paper. So the prompts come to that.
Right,
I might have used AI on my last beat.
real shit.
Right.
Yeah, almost. I'll explain it, but let me say this first.
Yeah.
That with the AI, I think it's going to be a tool for those for like I think AI in a creative person's hands is still just going to be a creative tool.
Okay.
So like the creative people are going to use it creatively.
Absolutely.
The people that aren't that creative are going to lean on it, and it's not going to be that impressive. So like you said, like the prompts, you have to come up, you have to be able to word a well-written prompt to make it bounce back and do what you want it to do.
Right.
But I was making a beat yesterday, and it was all synth-based. There was no sample involved. I said, I want to do some little Eric Sermon stuff. I want to put like a little piece of a sample in there, right? So I knew I was in the key of B flat. I'm only using 3 black notes.
Right.
So I say, boom, I asked Google, what are songs in the key of B flat? And this is going to be my list of things I could purge through to add a little sample, right? So this is like, so like, that's not like AI as far as we would think of it now, but I'm just using
But
Google
it
to
is,
find answers.
It is.
You know?
Right.
So I found my little sprinkle on that list. And you know what I mean? So just like,
epic,
just like using technology is not an issue for me. It's like when you're totally dependent on it and you can't make it funky. It's like, I think you have to know enough about it to be able to make it malleable. So you can move it, and you could fix it how you want to fix it.
No doubt. Nah, that's dope. That's dope. I changed my mind. I might use AI.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real.
Changed
Because
my
you
mind
saying
too,
that,
son.
I was like, oh.
I didn't even
because
think of it that way.
You can speak the prompt and basically ask for any instrument in the note
In the key,
and
and
speak to it in that. Come on, bro.
So for like building
Make your own
elements
samples.
of what you're doing, you know?
So will people
Sample it.
look at us, say we all using it like that in that manner, would people look at us as not being original?
No, because everyone can't do it dope.
Right.
Yeah, everybody that's what I'm
Period.
saying.
Everyone
Funk.
can't do it dope.
Say that.
The
There's
funk.
gonna be people doing cookie cutter vibes, and it's like,
right,
no, you gotta do it dope.
Right.
You gotta, you still, for real, like you can tell, like, yo, Leem's beats, when he's sampling, so he sampled something that was very popular, sent it to me, it's named the thing, and I had to listen to it 3 times before I could tell, like, why it's this sample.
Right,
And I'm like,
right.
are you sure that's it? This ain't it.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that to me is sampling in a whole way. Some people think sampling is pushing the record button,
Nah.
and then bing, bing, bing. That's not sampling, not how we feel. That's like surface level vibes. You gotta be able to twist the thing up, turn it into something else.
Yo, and it kind of takes like I'm gonna show love to hip hop, and I'm gonna show love to black culture with this. It kind of has to take that hip hop mindset to even approach it like that. Hip hop is so based on curation and collage that when people think about art, I don't think a lot of people are thinking about pulling sources as a form of art, and it's like the taste and the choice is an artistic taste and choice to even pull these sources, whether they be popular or rare. You know, like Dilla, like one of my favorites, he used to pull a lot of popular samples, but it's like you hear how tasty and he used it. So it's class.
The
and
MP
choice.
sounded like a live band.
Like a live band. So
Yeah.
man, hip hop don't stop with the curation. It's like making our taste an artistic decision. To wear the Nikes like that, or to throw the Timberland or the North Face on. It's an artistic decision where it's like it's available to everybody.
Right.
They sell it at Macy's. We're not even selling it.
Right.
But it's an artistic decision the way we put it together. You know what I mean? The way we put it together is hip hop.
Kingsman vibes.
Kingsman vibes.
Ours, bro.
Yo.
Yeah, man.
Well put, fam.
Yeah, bro.
Well put,
Yes,
man.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yo, you ever do that? Like what he's done as far as teaching in classrooms?
No, but I want to. I want to. Like all my students are adult learners, but I do want to get around younger people and teaching it. But you know, the way that I've kind of been moving in that direction is by just doing. I have a little bit of background in linguistics and etymology just from school, right?
Okay.
From college, right? So it's like I like the science of things. So taking people on my Instagram or on my TikTok down a musicology wormhole is like how I like to connect dots with music. So when I do get to that point where I could teach younger people, it's going to be like a more sociology
Absolutely.
surrounding music. Because I like just talking about how it came together.
Right.
Now the nuts and bolts of it is something different, but my mother was a history teacher, and so it's like I like the history and how people were involved. You know what I mean, to get this all together. On my Instagram, I recently just went down to Wormhole. My wife, she's Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
So her stepfather tells me about like how cowboy movies and cowboy music and country music is a lot of people's favorite genre in Jamaica. And I said, why? And he said, because the first movies that came to Jamaica were the cowboy movies. So then it got me thinking about just like the rude boy saunter just in general. It's all cowboy. And even the names of some of the artists.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Yes.
So I went down the wormhole and I said, oh, there's actually reggae songs that are covers of John Denver songs. So then it started making me think about, boom, I started thinking about the Beverly Hillbillies.
Right.
There once was a story, man named Iron Lion of Zion. It's the same.
Wow.
Yo, son! Yo! Son's a scientist!
Mind blown. So the sociology behind how those things came together, how Bollywood and soca music because of Indian people in Trinidad, I like the connections. So that's what I'm really interested in. I'm gonna start writing essays about that sort of stuff. And turn it into a
That's
book.
real.
So that's where I'm at with it.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real, man.
Type of stuff keep you up at night, man.
These two ain't let up, yo. Back and forth,
But that's that ear. That's the golden, you know. I tell people all the time, like to this day, I don't have more technical skill than I have ear. I know what doesn't sound good to me, and I'm gonna work with it till it sounds good. You know, and it's like once you've been listening and learning in a certain way for so long, it becomes one of your greatest tools. Like real talk. You know, interviewing. I got to interview Bob Power. Bob Power, he's the cat who engineered for Tribe, De La, The Roots, Erykah Badu, D'Angelo, just mad people. So he was that guy on the boards for mad years, a few decades. And, you know, I'm all excited, yo, Bob, you know, all these years, you've seen it all. Like, what's some of your best equipment and favorite equipment pieces? I'm thinking he's about to get all technical and spill it. He's like, oh, that's easy. My brain, my ears, and my taste. I was like, wow. He said, that's my favorite equipment. He said, that's what you need. He said, if you don't got ideas in your mind and can have that creative ability to just come up with ideas, if you don't have an ear, and if you don't have taste, those decisions, it's like it's not going to translate in a way, you know? Like when I hear cats who sample, right? The thing that always blows my mind, even though I do it too, it blows my mind like what Leem just did, how you're able to say, I got this one thing, but I'm gonna take these little pieces of these other things that's gonna vibe with this other thing and make this whole, you know, smorgasbord sound base. And yo, you're gonna vibe to it. I'm gonna put my stank on it. And it's like, to think like that, that's a part of the pulling sources that cats don't give credit to. Where it's like, no, it's that ear. I hear this thing, it spoke to me. When you hear it, that's why we stop at it. You know, it's like, it's electric, it's energy, you know? And that's the part that keeps us going. We're always trying to find those next things that make us feel that way to say, yo, this is it.
Right.
I'm a channel this to the world.
Right.
Boom, you know?
Right.
But yeah, man.
Son,
Yeah,
what's up?
you blew my mind with that, bro. The
bro,
Beverly Hills, I gotta go listen to that.
Yeah,
yo,
nah,
bro.
man, it's like country music and reggae
Yo,
music, the
bro.
connection, yeah, bro.
But that example, though, I was like, yo, I heard it.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah, man. Just making connections. Music builds so many connections, man. I'm just really happy that I got a chance to link with John after all these years.
Yeah.
Bro.
You feel me?
Yeah, man.
I feel wrong calling him John. He's been Little Side.
Right.
I'm still that.
On my
Still
CD rack.
side, yeah.
On my CD
bro.
rack. You feel me? You feel me? In my bedroom at my mother's house. For all this time. So it's like, you know,
nah,
I just feel
it's an honor,
feel like
bro.
really privileged.
Honored,
So that's why, you know what, I got, like I said before, I really don't have any goals with this. I think I do have goals with this. It's just like I'm accomplishing them.
Yeah.
No doubt.
You know?
No
And
doubt.
it's like they've become more internal
Word.
and less
Word.
external, you know? So yeah, wow, your dreams is coming true, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We at the Elly Show. We at the Elly Show.
It's a beautiful show, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful
brother.
episode, man. Yo, y'all want to ask me anything, man?
Yes, I want to ask
shit.
Elly, man, like for real, just a brief overview of what got you in this seat, bro.
What
Like
got
what
me in this
made
seat?
Elly feel like, yo, I need to create this platform and, you know, be a part of an ecosystem that's putting out information, allowing us to continue the stories. Because if we don't tell the stories like this, someone else most likely will the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So,
You want to know how?
yeah, man.
A text saying, yo, Elly, I'm about to pull up on you. Send me the Addy. Loose.
Wow.
Loose, pull
Big
up
ups.
on me. Come to the crib.
Bless.
We in Connie's. We building. I got this idea. Let me know what you think.
Word.
Boom. Here we come with this. We think of a name. We going through different names. I'm like, yo, all right, well, let's just go with the Elly Show. You sure? The Elly Show?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah.
But to tell the stories, to see the concept and all of that, Luce is our
Word up.
AI, fam. Like he sees the shit
Word.
that we ain't thinking about at the time, fam. Like
Bless.
real shit.
Bless.
Now we gonna
And
bless that one up.
when you trust in that,
Yeah.
you trust in that, you ain't got nothing to worry about. So
Yeah,
this
man.
is me trusting in this. Like without thinking about failing or anything, because if we fail, we got each other.
Yeah,
but
man.
that's what got me in this seat, fam. Just trusting in what
dope, bro.
he brought forth.
So
Real
at
shit.
so recently at Binkus Barbecue,
Yeah.
I saw Luce and Dio there, and I was giving them flowers, and I extend it to you personally,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's beautiful to see y'all brothers' enterprise off the creativity that started way back as Lions Den,
Yeah.
you know, and keep it going, and keep it streamlined, right? Because it's all connected, but
Yeah.
it's growth.
Yeah.
It allows you to just expand and do more, and kind of just spread ideas and really just always be in this space where, yo, I got an idea, let's activate it, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, so salute to y'all, the whole team, the
thanks,
space.
man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is a beautiful
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
very powerful.
Thank you, fam.
Yeah, man.
Real shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So-
Playback sounds.
Playback sounds, yo.
Yeah, man.
Soon Playback TV network. Like this is what we going for, fam. Like,
Yeah,
we
man.
going for it, yo. And I'm honored for him to even come to me. Not like he wouldn't, but for him to see that piece and be like, yeah, we need Elly for this right here,
dope.
because this what Elly do. This what Elly good at,
Bro.
and put us there. It's like either RZA with like Wizard and Wu-Tang. That's cool.
Put it like this, yo, if you're doing a live show and Elly's not performing, you want him at your show. You want Elly at your show in the crowd. Yo, you do, I promise you, you
Yo.
want Elly at your show.
Yeah,
bro.
yo, because when
I
the
said that
vibes is
recently.
right,
I was
I'ma
like,
let
yo.
go and just
Oh yeah.
I'ma
Yes, sir.
give thanks.
Oh, he's gonna help
That's how I
make it
give
even
thanks,
more live.
B.
Yeah, bro.
Word, man. Yo, it's an honor having y'all here, man. Anything y'all want to share, say to the audience or whatever, be my guest, be anything extra y'all want to say, where to find y'all, where to
That's what I
cop
was
the
gonna
new
say.
album, like, please.
No doubt, no doubt.
I was gonna say, at Leem Lizzy, I'm sure you'll see it in the description or something like that. LEEMLIZZY on everything, and that's where you can find it.
Same, JohnRobinsonMusic.com. You can find
Yeah.
all my endeavors
Lots
there.
of stuff.
That's the portal. And yo, if you see me here, shout me out on socials. Say you saw me on the Elly Show, and I'll have something for you. I'll send it.
There it is. Y'all heard it.
The first 5 people that do that.
Word up. First 5. Y'all just put it out there.
Yeah, man.
Yo, before I end this though, JR, you on a video game, son. I'm playing Sleeping Dogs beat, and your song come on. I'm kicking ass on the game, and I'm like, yo, hold up. I stop, go back, son.
Yes.
How did that happen,
Yes.
B?
So you know what?
That ain't the only video
I'm gonna say
game you
this
on
for the
either,
first
man.
time. I'm in Germany. This is like circa 2010, right? And this label I'm working with, they're like, yo, we're kind of shifting to the electronic music vibes. You should do an album with this producer we're working with, electronic. And I fought it, and he's just like in my head, like, I'm telling you, it could get licensed and sync licensing. And I'm like, bro, I don't do this. That's not even what I'm interested in. I need more funk and soul than that, bro. That ain't it. I ain't doing it. And then, I don't know, I don't remember what made me decide, you know what, I'm doing it, but real talk, I was writing that whole joint kind of angry at doing it. Like, let me just write something, and it kept coming out dope. And I was like, oh, you know, so that song you're talking about is called Channeling. And it's really talking about that experience where it's like, yo, bro, some of this stuff I'll read back and it's like, damn, I said that, you know? And it's like, I start to really come into my own of really confirming, a lot of this is channeled, B. Like, we are vessels, and this gets channeled. You'll leave the lab and be like, yo. So that record was me fighting against the idea, but writing, I feel like, some of my dopest lyrics. And I was just like, yo, this is amazing. So to Unfold, when we talked about this, that was the wrong company. This company actually was on it, and that record hit the ground with sync placements.
Wow.
That put me in the game of like understanding, like, yo, okay, we're like nickel and diamond trying to sell these units and this, that, and the sync money is just like, pling, you know? And it just, you know, put me in that space of saying, okay, to even be in this game, you have to create more music that's sample free, no red tape. Otherwise, you're not even in that game. You know? If it's samples, it's like you're playing a dangerous game. So big ups to Project Moon Circle. And Robot Koch was the producer.
Okay.
Yeah, but Channeling, Sleeping Dogs. I found out, I heard it was a video game. I ain't gonna front. I got paid and everything and didn't even know what game at first. And one of the young homies is like, yo, I think you're on a video game. I was like, yeah, it's coming, not yet. He's like, no, it's out. I was playing it. I was like, what? And then, you know, he put me on, like, oh, it's out, okay. And I wound up playing the game.
That's
so,
dope, that's dope.
Fire.
Big ups to that, yo.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Leem? You getting on any games or anything?
Well, like,
scores?
I mean, that's partly part of the reason why I went over to the electronic music side is so I can make stuff that's sample free. So it's like, I have my stuff on a couple sites to get ready to get synced out. Just waiting for the right movie. If somebody's watching this and you hear my catalog and think that something could fit, let's work something out. Let's work something out.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome, yo. Yo, y'all make some noise for my 2 guests. They amazing, yo. They are fucking amazing, man. I'm so glad and honored to have them. Yeah, man. Bro, man, this was a beautiful episode, man. Like,
yes, sir.
I mean, I couldn't ask for nothing more, nothing less. This was it right here, yo. Y'all educated people. Y'all, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see if we gonna get somebody to perform and rock. You know what I mean?
Word.
I mean, yeah. Can we get that?
We could get that.
Yo, well then, let's do that. Bonus. Cause look at Luce, he's happy, son. The producer's happy, yo. So what's up? Let's do it. All right. So, all right. Well then, here we go. Let me close out with This was another episode 7 of the Elly Show. Kingsman vibes. So much good information, that, man, I hope y'all learned something and took notes. We about to go into JR performing and possibly Leem rocking too with some of them ill sounds. I'm serious, y'all don't want to miss this. Coming up on the Elly Show, yo.
Bang.
Thank y'all for tuning into the Elly Show. This is episode 7. Yes, and as you know it, yo, we got JR and Leem Lizzy. Never seen before, rocking on the Elly Show right now. Yo, JR, do what you do, fam. Appreciate y'all.
Big
Y'all
ups,
make some
big
noise
ups.
for them too, man. Yeah. Appreciate y'all, my guys. My man.
Leem, Lizzy, let's get busy. Yeah, let's start with the speed up tempo vibes. Word up. Warm it up. Yeah, warm it up. Warm it up like. It's those vibes you just zone out, you know what I'm saying? Feel the mic, feel the space. Yo, supreme, most prominent, dominant, solar system, hold the rhythms, it's hot. Core, we got more. Sweating with your hands up high to the sky now. Praise due, fly beats we ride, wow. Futuristic vintage, trees and cyborg. Relentless, endless vision, splendid wisdom. Delivered in one big sentence. A glimpse of great is all it takes to see a dream unfold when it awakens. The sleeping giant is well aware. We have your soul in mind, have no fear. Soothing tones of roots and foundation. Pacing, thinking something groundbreaking. Taking gems and such shit from the ancient praises. Praise pour libations. Let it breathe like exhale. 2023 so fresh, well. J to the Leem Lizzy mess gel. Together, so clever. Blast off like moon circle. Healing vibrations, these tunes nurture you. Yo, much more than the average leverage. Beyond chop down severage. Let it live like everlasting. It take a lifetime to measure passion. Clashing like the titans. We're right in fighting to see tomorrow. The future brightens. Shine like constellation. Brand new creation. Shine like constellation. Brand new creations. Word up. Big ups Leem Lizzy on the tracks. Yo, we just floating as we go along, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, let them feel the vibes up real quick, man, you know what I mean? Yeah. Huh? Word. Leem Lizzy on the tracks. Leem Lizzy on the tracks. Word. Yo, Leem, let's keep it moving, man. Let's go to that other vibes. Yeah. Word. You know, we all see it. Cats flossing on IG, flossing for the computer, you know, do it for the gram. If that's what you think, man, yo, fake local for secure status. The average cat couldn't wrap this mathematics around his cabbage. Massive thoughts are, gotta get the paper up. Civilize a savage in pursuit of happiness with this madness, no real estate. Plus he still feel the weight of the jewels. Rope around his neck so symbolic to a noose. Modern day holiday blues. Strange fruit dangling in the illest designer clothes. Mega bill folds, always get the deal closed. Living on the edge, man, that was real close. Cars and women is main vices, the night shift. New day, new whip, new chick, this life is priceless. As he thought, living so young and bold. Never would've known he'd grow old, alone and cold. It's not a story about another lonely soul, just a gift telling your life was worth a love and gold. Word, you just flossing all over. Oh man, one day it's gonna be over. Word, you just flossing all over. And she flossing too. Yo, they just flossing all over. For real, one day it's all gonna be over. You just flossing all over. Yeah, she flossing too, yo. Searching for life's true purpose, women in the surplus of illest shoes, designer purses, attended churches. Dating made her nervous, only dealt with men with dough. And wonders why she's 40 with no diamond ring to show. Attractive and intelligent, clearly, severely. Wanted the family life for a minute now, really? Focused on the wrong things, many long years. Money was like music to her ears. The only thing she ever truly loved was a career. I swear, she fell in line to love without a swear. Scared to live her dreams of mama, I wanna sing. But vocals don't pay the rent, she thought money was everything. It's not, don't get caught up in the same plot. It's like a broken watch staying in the same spot. She top notch, she should be somebody's wife. I hugged her, told her don't die, unlived life. Yo, you're flossing all over. You're flossing all over. One day it's gonna be over. Yo, one day it's gonna be over. Word. They just flossing, money they tossing, but they never land on no meaningful things. Material objects, the main topic. My squad is all level up, manifesting dreams. I don't count no other heads' pockets. I just know the time and the tickets talking. I just know the time and the tickets talking. I just know the time, yo, word. Word. Yeah, we need one more. We gotta end on the off the top, strictly off the top, you know. Yeah, man. Big ups. Going, yo, let's get it going, yo, I had to get wet up on the Adam's apple, yo, I met Elly at the Tabernacle 25 years ago, I'm telling you, I even got a flip, yo, I'ma show you, I'm telling you, yo, we live at the Elly Show, you can see the girls singing live by like Figaro, it's like 3 in a row, back in the day we used to call that tic-tac-toe, Leem, Lizzy, we getting busy on the octo track, this is how we do, we flip it back. I mean flip like acrobatic gymnasts. The lyrics is indigenous to this hip-hop shit ridiculous. I've been doing this forever, but still learning on the journey. Never stop learning, build up the mindset. This is how we do it, all different climates. We salute sweet in the lion's den. Equidile, the fly flow, define them. All the time, yo, Lion's Den show was a thing we did back in the day, yo. You should play it, push play on it. This is how we do it when we rock it, we flaunt it. Yo, cameras in the face, all in the place, any time and place. We go out in time and space. Off the top of the melon, what should I tell them? Every time I come back, freestyle, no yelling. No padded pen, he's stabbing men in the abdomen for babbling. Around the world, we traveling. Word up, we on the Iron Eagle. This is live off the top, no regal beagle. Yo, we stunning the muse, confused like Rubik's Cube box, knock the style out your shoes. The honey dip was on some funny shit on the low, she tried to tax my money clips. I was like, you crazy Evelyn? I took her to the Sheridan after 12, I spit her M&Ms. And she started trembling and turned into a fucking gremlin, I'm telling him. Yo, you should have really seen her. The girl named Yvette, she drove the Corvette Cleaner. At least I thought for a second. I didn't know she was, mic checking. Yo, mic checking on the next. This is how we do with the style complex. This is straight off the top of the mental. Leem instruments provide the instrumental. Live at the Elly Show, no coincidental. Full circle movement, yo, it's mental. I'm telling you, you should have been here. Yo, we live and direct, we ill like swimwear. Yo, summertime, and we come back running rhymes. Every time we come back, yo, it's freestyle lines. It's so divine, it can show your mind somewhere else to go and incline. Yo, this is such a vibe, the Elly Show. Yo, clap it up, bring it live. Yo, yeah. Big ups to the Elly Show. Respect Leem, Lizzy, John Robinson in the place. Yo, we did it up live, y'all. Word up, respect too. Big ups.